What's good? This is Trey. Welcome to this presentation. Today I want to talk about intelligence and emotions and why I believe it is wise to value your intelligence over your emotions. All right. So, in my journey of cold approach, which basically my journey of me going out and approaching women and working on my communication skills, my ability to communicate in an attractive way, and basically handling my dating life, one of the challenges I faced was emotions getting in the way of me hitting my goals. So, for example, when I just got into cold approach pickup, my goal was to get a girlfriend. All right, that was my goal. However, emotions would get in the way of that goal because it was very clear in my head I want a girlfriend and I knew the actions that I needed to take to get a girlfriend. However, my emotions would hold me back. For example, I knew, okay, if I want to get a girlfriend, I need to talk to women, right? I need to get in front of women. So I decided I'm going to use cold approach pickup to start meeting women. I would go out and approach women. So when I was at my house, right, I would be in a certain emotion, right? I would feel, okay, yeah, I'd be kind of excited. All right, I'm going to go out today. I'm going to talk to some women. I'm going to get some numbers, right? It would be that emotion. It'd be kind of excited, right? Like an exciting emotion. Then I would go out to the mall or wherever I was going. And then when I would get there, the emotion would change. It would go from excitement and, oh yeah, I'm about to get some girls to fear, nervousness, anxiety, right? And basically emotions that were actually discouraging me from taking action. Now, here's the problem with emotions. The problem I have with emotions, like I've been able to kind of deal with my emotions a lot better where I'm at right now. But during that time, I had a big issue with emotions because they're so temporary. You know what I mean? Like they come and go. Like one moment you'll feel a certain way, the next moment you feel a different way, and right. So it's like it was very. I realized it was very. It wasn't very wise to make decisions based off of emotions versus intelligence because emotions would change, right? So for example, I would be in my house and I'd feel like going out and approaching women and talking to them, but then I'd go out and when I got out, I would feel like I want to go back home because I would feel nervous or shy or social anxiety, approach anxiety, all these different things. So the emotions would change. So the way how I was able to deal with this was I stopped making decisions and taking actions from emotions, and I started making decisions and taking actions from my intelligence, right? I would apply my intelligence to the situation and I would override the emotion and take action. What would happen is by taking action, I would create a new emotion, right? So basically the emotion that I wanted would follow the action, right? Sometimes we just stay in an emotion and we wait. We wait for something to happen for us to be happy. We wait for something to happen for us to feel good. We wait. And I was done with that because if you wait, you don't know when the hell is gonna happen. So instead of that, I would lead with my intelligence. I would apply my intelligence to the situation. Okay, if I feel fear and anxiety and I'm feeling shy and whatever, introverted, if I want to get out of that emotion or get out of that state, I have to take an action. I have to apply my intelligence and take an action that's going to create a new emotion. So what I started doing was I would go out and I'd start to experience, this anxiety, or I don't want to approach any girls or whatever. I don't want to get rejected, blah, 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 blah. And I would apply my intelligence and I would say, okay, I've been in this situation before. I know that if I follow this emotion of anxiety and fear and all of that, I'm not going to take any action, which means I'm not going to get any closer to my goal. So instead, let me look at this with my intelligence and understand the right decision here is to take action despite me feeling this fear. So I would take action. I would take small actions that I could do that were better than nothing, right? Because I've learned from my mistakes. I would go out, right? I would be in my house and I would have a certain emotion. I'd be excited. Okay, I can't wait to go out and meet some women. I'd go out. Then when I'd go out, the emotion would change. I would feel fear. I'd feel anxiety. I'd feel nervous. And I would end up walking around, not talking to anybody and go back home empty-handed. Whereas I started applying my intelligence now, and even though I would feel that fear or feel that anxiety, I knew I was wise enough to know I cannot align with this emotion, or else I'm not going to take any action. So I have to apply my intelligence and my willpower and take action, right? So I would go, even though I don't feel like talking to any women or whatever, I still take action, and I talk to a woman. And then when I talk to her, the emotion starts to change. Because whenever you go and you push through that emotion and you take action anyway, it's like you prove to yourself that the emotion is incorrect, right? And so the emotion starts to shift, because that fear, that anxiety is just a bunch of bullshit. Like, you're getting riled up and get, your mind is starting to think, oh, what if this happens? What if that? What if this? What if that? It's like, it's not present in the moment. So when you just say, you just disregard what your mind is telling you in emotion, and you just decide to apply your intelligence and just do what you know you're supposed to do, the emotion changes. All right? The emotion changes, and essentially now you're in this new emotion, and you can ride this new emotion that's more appropriate for what you're trying to do. So for example, I would feel that fear when I'd go out and approach women. Yes, I'd feel that fear. I'd be anxious, right? I'd feel nervous, but I would approach women anyway, and that emotion would change. I start to get into it. I start to feel good. I start to be like, oh, this is kind of fun, meeting people or talking to women, right? And so the emotion would change. And so I started to realize, like, yo, we are so powerful. We have the power to actually change our emotions if we apply our intelligence, right? We have to value our intelligence and lead with our intelligence to create the emotions we want. Don't just let the emotions run wild by themselves, because it's just going to throw you all over the place. So I apply my intelligence, and I apply my intelligence throughout my whole day. I schedule my day with activities and actions and decisions that are going to create the emotions that are going to help me to achieve my goals. That's me applying my intelligence. And if an emotion comes up that I do not like, right, a negative emotion. So for example, let's say anger, frustration, whatever, sadness, anything that's negative, I don't act from it. That's like a key thing. I value emotions that are aligned with my goal, like happiness, joy, peace, love. Yes, I align with those emotions and I act from them, because those are positive emotions that create great things. But negative emotions, I do not act from negative emotions. If I feel anger, I'm not going to take action from a place of anger. If I feel frustration, I'm not going to take a place of frustration. If I feel sadness or pity or just feel sorry for myself, I'm not taking action from these places. I look at the situation with my intelligence and I ask myself, what is the intelligent action to take here? Not the emotional action. What's the intelligent action? Sometimes you got to do a pro and con. You got to look at the pros and cons and really look at the situation. What is the pros of one action versus the pros of the other action? And then what are the cons of that action versus the cons of the other action? And decide from there. Because we got to learn from our mistakes. How many times have you made an emotional decision and it didn't go the way you wanted it to go? It led to some kind of destruction or some kind of stupid situation you didn't want to be in. All right, brother, I see your question. Let me see if I can answer it real quick. Hey, bro, I need advice. Like, I'm a husky dude. Women now, it says love bigger dudes, but I don't see it. What should I work on about myself? Okay, so it's not about what the women are saying. It's about how you feel about it. If you feel like you need to lose some weight, then you need to lose some weight. If you feel like you don't need to lose some weight, then you don't need to lose some weight. It's about how you feel. Don't worry about what women say. Okay, go and get the women that are into you. Go and get the women that like your huskiness or whatever, if you want to stay husky. But if you want to get in shape, right, get in shape. Don't worry about what the women or anyone is saying. Worry about what you think. What do you think? Right? Like, I work out because I want to work out, because I like the way how I feel. I like the way how I look, not because someone else is telling me to work out. You see what I'm saying? I do. So you got to do what you want to do. You lead. You got to see yourself as a king, and you just do whatever you want to do, and that's it. You do what you want to do, and whoever wants to follow can follow, or whoever wants to align with you can align with you, but you don't worry about the opinions of others and shit like that. Whether it's women, whether it's men, who gives a shit? Okay? And if you decide you want to stay husky and the women don't want to deal with that, you just be proud of it. You say, I don't give a fuck, man. I'm a husky dude, right? There's husky guys who get women, right? Like, that's I know some. Like, I know guys that are husky or whatever. I've seen all types of different guys get women, but I notice it's the way how they feel about themselves. Like, if you feel like it's a problem, then it's gonna be a problem. But if you don't give a fuck, if you own it, if you're confident, if you know, you just embody who you are and you just love who you are and you respect yourself, people will respond to you that way. But if you are doubting yourself, then, you know, people will doubt you. Yeah, brother, you do what you want to do. Don't worry about whatever anybody says, like, straight up. So, so yeah, we need to get really, really good at applying our intelligence over emotions, right? Because emotional decisions is not very wise because emotions are temporary. That's why it's not wise. Your intelligence is always there. You always know what the intelligent choice is, the intelligent decision is, but the emotions come and cloud it. Right? So that's why you need to create that separation and know you are not the emotion. The emotion tries to come and override your intelligence and get you to move in certain directions, right? And control you. So you don't want to be controlled. You don't want to be a puppet. You want to apply your intelligence and you take control. And you create the emotion, right? If I want to feel a certain emotion, I go and create it. I don't wait for it to happen or wait for somebody to trigger me. You know what I mean? No, I go and create the emotion by applying my intelligence. If I want to feel confident, I go and accomplish something. How do you feel confident? You feel confident when you're accomplishing shit, when you're making shit happen. If you're not making shit happen, if you're just bullshitting and wasting time, you're not going to feel confident. Right? If you want to feel powerful, you got to do something that's going to make you feel powerful. If you want to feel whatever it is, you want to feel joy, go and do something that brings joy. You know, you create, you have to create, but you apply your intelligence and you figure out, okay, what do I need to do to hit my goal? What do I need to do to whatever you're trying to do? But don't let emotions come and, you know, throw you all over the place, because that was my mistake, and I stopped doing it. Okay, I stopped allowing emotions to control me. Okay, especially you know, in regards to like negative emotions, like, you know, weak emotions. Like I said, anger, sadness, pity, whatever. I don't even remember these negative emotions because I just don't deal with them anymore, right? When they come up, I let them pass, or I will change them by taking action. I'll apply my intelligence. Like, let's say I don't feel, let's say, okay, for example, let's say, I'll give you a perfect example. Let's say I need to work on some project, right? But I don't feel like working on the project, right? I'll turn on some music or something, or I'll go and do some exercise, or I'll get on the piano, or I'll go and get on a call with a friend that, you know, talks positive. I will do what is necessary to change my state, to change the emotion, to change my vibe. I don't just let the vibe take over and just take over my day, right? So it's your intent. You got to start valuing your intelligence, value logic, value being rational, right? Because that's where your power is. That's where you override the bullshit. People try to control you with emotion. That's why they try to get you emotional and talk shit and say things that trigger you and stuff like that. And then they get you to do what they want you to do. That's how they control you. But when you become a man of intelligence, a man who does not allow his emotions to sway him and move him around, now you're solid. Now you're grounded. Now you can't be broken, right? So that's the key thing here, is valuing intelligence over emotions. I'm not saying emotions are bad. I'm just saying that they're temporary, and you make decisions from a temporary place. It's not the wisest thing to do. I check my emotions with my intelligence. I check the emotion. I look at the emotion I'm feeling and I ask myself, if I make a decision from this emotion, will I regret it or not? If I will regret it, I'm not going to make the decision. I'm not going to take that action. But if it's the right decision, if it's aligned with my intellect, with my goals, with what I would like to create in the future, then I will act from it, right? So that's the advice for this video. I hope that was helpful. If you're a man watching this and you would like to develop unbreakable self-confidence, you like to master your dating life, you like to overcome the fear of rejection, right? And start, you know, attracting an abundance of beautiful women, join the Unbreakable Beast Tribe. I'll leave a link to the group and I'll see you inside. Peace.